Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
What you said on that pod thing, it's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello, and welcome to Thursday KVJ After the Show podcast. One day to the weekend, the countdown is on. Yeah, good times. Looking forward to it. I got to tell you, though, it's a crazy world with that wacky COVID out there, though. You never know what's going to go on.
Is that what the news is calling it now? Yeah, today in the wacky COVID
wacky
news.
COVID. Yeah, it's just crazy. It's out there. I mean, football season is going on, but it is definitely bringing a couple hiccups to it. I saw just now breaking on the news wire that looks like the Atlanta Falcons have shut down their facility after 4 positive coronavirus tests. I know that there have been issues other teams so far this year. You got the Florida Gators that their game was postponed. They was supposed to go off against LSU in the Swamp this Saturday. It's been moved to December 12th now.
I'm reading in a bunch of places, and I don't know how accurate it is because I have not been watching a lot of sports, but I'm reading that they are down by almost half. Some of the sports are down half.
They did a piece on the LSU Coach O, and he's like, oh, yeah, nah, most of our players already had the COVID.
Yeah.
He's like, they already had it.
He'd already fired that off, and that brought up suspicion if some teams were like, yeah, why don't you guys go and get it? I mean, you'll be fine. You'll survive it. We just get the antibodies, and then you'll be protected for the entire season. Because what is a pain in the butt is the unpredictability of it.
And getting shut down.
Yeah.
If you're doing great, or if you're on a roll, or if you have a game, and
well, you look at what's going on with Alabama and their coach, Nick Saban. You hope they don't get any cases of anybody that's critical because they play number 3 Georgia this Saturday night. That's one of the biggest games of the entire year. And Alabama's ranked number 2, so it pretty much is a de facto playoff game.
do you think it will affect the game, him not being there? I mean, I know you said he's still coaching like Zoom, but
he's very active on the sideline, so I think it'll have some impact. I think they can minimize it, and I don't know what the rulings are as far as could he be on some kind of communication system and still be watching the game and saying, we need to do this, we need to do that. I don't know what the limitations are and what they'll allow because everything's new this year. Who knows?
Could they put him in a bubble and put him right there on the sideline?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be at the game. I think that's it. I think he's at his place. He was still coaching yesterday. They came to him. He actually was meeting with the media and all that. He was meeting with ESPN because they were doing interviews with him because this game is so big. They record all those things earlier in the week. So he had Tom Rinaldi from ESPN there doing interviews with him, and they pull him aside and be like, hey, dude, you got COVID, man. You got to get out of here. And Nick Saban bolted out of the football facility and headed home.
Dang.
And so, he's trying to take another test to find out if it's, accurate or if it's a false positive, because that happens too, where, these teams get on full alert and then they find out it was a false positive. So they got to try to figure that out.
I feel like I'd be taking a test within the next 30 minutes after I got the first positive.
Yeah, I'm sure they're probably doubling down on it.
If you're Nick Saban, you can probably get your hands on, I don't know, a dozen tests at the snap of a finger.
Yeah.
And just take as many as you need to till you have your answer you need.
Mm-hmm. So that's affecting a lot of things, and it could wreck some team's season. That's why it's going to be interesting because, like I've said, it's typically 2 weeks you got to sit out if you're a player. Imagine you get to a big game and your star quarterback tests positive, and who knows if it's even a real positive, but then they're out 2 to 3 weeks. Big Ten's 3 weeks you got to sit out, 3 games. So
that could change everything.
As a Buckeye fan, knowing my luck, they'll go to the Michigan game and the quarterback will get COVID, and then he'll be out for that, the Big Ten championship, and then whatever happens after that. So and they'll wind up blowing it again. The Gators are sticking with their current policy of only 20% capacity. They seat 88,548, and the coach, Dan Mullen, has now apologized for going off and saying we need to pack the Swamp this Saturday. especially after, ironically, 19 Gator players get COVID-19. So,
Yeah, it feels like right when you talk smack about COVID, COVID's like listening.
yeah.
And it goes, oh, yeah, okay.
That's
All
why
right.
I call wacky, Virginia.
All right, let's see how this goes.
He said, I certainly apologize if I offended people or anybody out there. So he had to backtrack on that because people did not take kindly. People don't want you kidding about the COVID. It's not funny. So I will tell you that some people do not like you said that Rocco is going to be going back to school. And there are already some people here in the state of Florida that are pushing to get rid of the masks, not just sending the kids back.
Oh, you knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, the fight is happening more on the West Coast, but Pinellas County, got Tampa and all that over there. Their school board is receiving backlash. They just extended the district's mask mandate. A lot of parents are like, we don't want our kids wearing masks. They have said that each family has the right and freedom to make medical decisions independently. We are taking action to have the mask mandate decision reversed immediately for the physical, emotional, and social well-being of our children. And one of these anti-mask groups has raised over $11,000 through a GoFundMe to hire an attorney to try to force Sarasota County to drop their mandatory mask mandate for students.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a family that's very anti-mask and you send your kid to school, of course you're going to have some conflict. I knew this shit was going to happen.
Yeah. So,
Fuck that, my kid's not wearing a mask. I always make it a Southern person. I don't know why.
well, yeah.
Well, I mean, I've heard other people who are not Southern also be anti-mask people. So I don't know why I'm always making Southern people the anti-mask people.
Yeah, but that post, they are not wanting the mask. And, the latest that I just hear is the vaccine thing. There's been, I think, 2 different companies this last week that have shut down their vaccine trials after somebody taking the vaccine, I don't know, grew another head or something. And
I think 2 different companies with 2 different people that got the vaccine.
Yeah.
So 2 different vaccines.
yeah.
Both had like major issues. And so they were like, whoa, hold up.
Yeah.
And you don't know. I mean, how are you going to know if they were going to have those major issues anyway? Mm-hmm. Or if it's a side effect of the vaccine? I mean, how do you tell?
Yeah. Well, that's just enough to stop it, though, and that's going to slow that down as you try to figure out a timetable when society will get back to normal. And based on what I was seeing yesterday, it looks like they're talking about maybe about a year from now.
Wow.
So what we're seeing, and I think the next big fight is going to be if they're going to do other shutdowns. I know DeSantis has said no, but apparently the number of new daily cases has risen about 50% in the U.S. over the last month, and Europe's starting to shut down some places again. So.
But I see them asking, people in the medical community, what do you want, a vaccine or a really kick-ass treatment? And they're all saying a really kick-ass treatment.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, I mean, I feel like it makes more sense. While they're working out the vaccine and they haven't got it figured out yet, let's just get a really kick-ass treatment. So if people that do have compromised immunity get it, we give them this, whatever they gave Trump, they need to give everybody.
So people aren't dying.
Right.
Yeah. They say in the month of October, more people have died from COVID in Florida than any other state. So we're back to number 1.
How come the people in Florida aren't getting what they gave Trump? Can we just give everybody that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. I think there's still a lot of questions about that.
If my ass was going to the hospital with COVID, I'd be like, give me the frickin' Trump cocktail now. That's the first thing I would want. I mean, the dude had COVID for a matter of hours and is now dancing.
Yeah, he's doing great. Well, you need to go to the Perez Art Museum tonight and ask him in that town hall that he's going to be doing.
I ain't going to no political rallies, not me.
You just were. You just put one on right now. You don't even realize it by saying the Trump cocktail. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. That motherfucker is dancing on stage, and he just had COVID.
He was dancing.
And if that's how you look the week after they give you that medicine, that's the medicine they should give everybody. Why aren't they?
Yeah.
Why are people still dying?
It's a great question.
I mean, Virginia is just getting so PM'd right now, politically motivated.
I'm not politically motivated. I'm asking a question as a person who doesn't want to see people sick.
I am just busting your politically motivated balls.
I don't understand how that's political.
The thing that's crazy is tonight, you see what they're doing with these dueling town halls going on? President Trump is going to be doing his in Miami. And then you got Joe Biden doing one on ABC. So you got one on NBC and ABC, and they're on at the exact same time.
What about
on
poor
TV.
Poor CBS doesn't get nothing.
I've never. Has this ever happened before? Where you
I've never seen this.
No, this is different.
No, not dueling town halls at the exact same time.
It's all going to be about the ratings too.
Is it possible to put a split screen on your TV so you can watch them both?
Okay, Kevin could do it.
I mean, they both have potential for amazingness.
But it's still crazy to try to listen to two people talking at the same time. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with it. For people in Miami, just so you know, and you're probably aware, but Trump being there at the Perez Art Museum tonight means that the MacArthur Causeway is going to be shut down from 7 to 11 p.m.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so if they're going head-to-head tonight, which this is the first I'm hearing of it, there's no way there's not some kind of a ratings ploy.
Oh, big time!
There
Yeah,
has to,
they'll spin it.
You can't lose in the ratings, right?
Right.
That's a narrative.
Yeah, well, they were both supposed to be in Miami tonight at the Arsh Center doing the debate, but then they couldn't agree because of Trump's COVID diagnosis.
He don't have it no
live or
more.
virtual.
Look at him. He looks fine.
You're saying he's dancing.
He's dancing. I mean, that is the best. Whatever that was they gave him was awesome.
Biden wasn't having it, so he's doing his in Philadelphia.
If you had a terrible bout of COVID and someone said, all right, I got this experimental cocktail. We don't know if it's going to work, but if it does work, you're going to feel great in a day. I mean, you're on death's door, but there's a chance some bullshit could also go down. Do you take that experimental cocktail?
I think so. I think if I'm on death's door, I say give me all the experimental cocktails.
They're like, okay, Virginia, you may gain 85 pounds after this thing.
Well, I mean, if it's fat or death, I pick fat.
Okay, I'm just seeing where the line's at.
I can always lose weight. I can't bounce back from death.
And I'm not saying you're at death's door. You're real sick and you don't know. Do you take that chance? Because obviously, if you're at death's door, you're going to take whatever. But you're really sick and you don't know.
I just hope that I get whatever that cocktail was they gave Donald Trump. That's what I want.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if it was that effective. And if he had like a legit case of it, and that's ultimately the question. Like, Nick Saban, we were talking about Alabama, he's like, I don't have the first symptom. He's like, I don't know why I'm getting a positive test here.
Huh.
Maybe the president was similar. I thought I'd heard he had a fever, though, and at least
I thought I heard,
something.
he was symptomatic.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, if it's that effective to wipe out COVID, yeah, if they just released that and made that available to all Americans, boom, problem solved, right? You're a hero.
It kind of makes too much sense, so they're not going to do it.
Yeah, who knows? They also announced that his kid Barron got it. So he had the corona as well.
That kid looks different. Did you see a current picture of him?
No, I haven't seen him for a while.
Oh my God, he's taller than both of his parents.
Well, you probably last saw him about 4 years ago when Trump first got in.
I think they tucked him away. I don't know what they did. They tucked him away and gave him all the vegetables.
Well, he's at the age where you go to growing spurts.
He is tall.
Yeah. Well, they probably, I'm sure, don't those kind of families ship their kids off to like some kind of military institution for like 5 years and then they come back and the kid doesn't know his parents and he's disgruntled. And
I think some people had been coming for that kid for some reason, politically motivated, of course.
You know why.
And so they were tucking him away maybe to avoid all of the scrutiny. But now that I saw a picture of him yesterday, it seems like he's aged 10 years.
People always go after politicians' family.
Which is so not cool.
They always say, don't do it, but it happens all the time.
I mean, the poor kid was just quiet, and they were like saying he's on the spectrum. They were, you don't know. Why would you come after somebody's kid?
Mm-hmm. Are you guys getting any of the political texts to your phone?
Yes.
I'm getting political flyers at my door. Every other day, I'm getting some kind of make sure you vote for this candidate or make sure you vote for that candidate.
Mm-hmm.
My phone thinks my name is Andrew, and it says, "Hey Andrew, it's so and so with the so and so party. We hope we can count on you to vote for this and that and that." I get about 10 texts a day.
I haven't gotten one The most I've gotten, like I said, is the paper stuff on my door.
Yeah, I've been getting actual text messages, and they're like texting like I'm all in on whatever they're going to be doing.
Are they saying your name, Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I was
mine
like, okay.
is saying Andrew. It thinks my name is Andrew.
Yeah, mine's saying Kevin, and I think all the ones that I've gotten have been from Democrats that are pushing us. I'm wondering what happened that they think that I'm, in the movement with them. And they're like going, you got to help us defeat Trump. I did see this, that if you're getting political texts, they likely got your number from Facebook or other social media sites. And I have a feeling that because you're living in a Democratic county, they're really pushing hard here because Florida is such a big state. They say Florida and Pennsylvania, probably two of the big states, are going to affect the outcome of the election. So that's why Trump is here and Biden was just here.
We're always in the mix, man.
Yeah, well, because it is. And Florida's not only a massive state, and you got a lot of the electorate votes, but it's so different where the high population area is Democrat, but the rest of the state is Republican. And so it's an interesting fight like that. I don't know of many states. Like you go to California, it's Democrat, like top to bottom. But Florida's different. Top is Republican, bottom is Democrat. And I think if you're getting those, they're finding out that you're in one of the Democratic counties living there. And so the Democrats are sending you crazy texts, and they're likely getting it from your Facebook or social media sites, it says. It says by law, campaigns do have access to some voter information, such as who the registered voters are and who has requested an absentee ballot. But the parties can't have your cell phone number or even your email address, at least from your county clerk. But they can find your political leanings and your phone number if you have it attached to your Facebook account or other social media accounts.
Huh.
But I have nothing that would give any kind of leaning. In fact, I don't think I've ever voted for a person for president from either party.
So yeah, why do they have it so wrong? And can y'all tell them I'm not Andrew?
Yeah.
Whoever's texting me thinking I'm Andrew.
So that's it. So they're finding other ways like anybody does. And I wonder how I get on all these mailing lists. I'm like, I'm not giving my email address to anybody.
Facebook's selling your stuff.
Yeah.
I got a weird message the other day. It was, hey, I just landed. I'm here waiting for your call, blah, blah, blah. It's me. I forget what the name it was.
You're going to be waiting a long time, bitch.
It was not. It was the wrong number. And it was like 3 different messages. Hey, I'm still here waiting for your ride. I'm at the airport.
Oh, boy.
I'm like, oh, sorry about that.
You so don't want to get involved.
I didn't get involved.
And you're just like, I don't have time for this.
I figured it would all work itself out. And I'm sure she got home.
Good luck, honey.
Yeah.
Dave in the chat room said California is not all Democratic, Kev. The big cities are. In fact, it's not like here where it's divided like that. I don't know if they have a Republican pocket anywhere in the state. It's got to be smaller. I mean, I lived in the middle of the state. I know L.A. is not Republican. I know San Francisco is not Republican. I know the coast is not Republican, and where I lived, I think also leaned Democrat.
I know a lot of people, celebrities, that have moved out of there.
Celebrities are a lot of Democrat, right?
Well, so the celebrities I'm talking about, I would say lean more to the right. Your Joe Rogan's, not to say that he's completely to the right.
Yeah,
People
not saying there's
leaving,
not one Republican in the state.
They're
but
leaving
saying,
California because they don't
Right.
like the way it's being run.
Right. I don't know of any section of California where there's a significant portion of population where the Republicans dominate. Like here, Tampa is dominated by Republicans. Jacksonville is dominated by Republicans. You've got Miami and, well, especially Broward, Fort Lauderdale is dominated by Democrats. So California doesn't have that kind of split.
Yeah, when I said celebrities, I'm talking about the celebrities that do lean to the right. There are some out there, believe it or not.
Yeah,
but
they do.
Usually,
all the Hollywood people are always like,
Hollywood, the actors, the people that are really into the, they are absolutely very left-leaning, very left-leaning. Mm-hmm. But believe it or not, there are right leanings in Hollywood. You still hear a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Somebody said, let me see. Sean said, what is Palm Beach County, Kevin, Republican? No, Palm Beach County is Democrat predominantly. You just look at the local government. Have we ever been here and West Palm has not had a Democratic mayor? Don't think so. Frankel and Keith James is Democrat. Before him was Democrat. Yeah, it's always been a Democratic mayor.
Republican.
You're asking tough questions now.
Well, no matter what answer you give, you're going to fire some fucker up. I can already see it happening.
You can tell people want to fight with Kevin, and Kevin's like, no.
Yeah.
Here's the facts.
Nothing to fight about. I'm just what it is, what it is. It is what it is. There you go. Somebody saying, Kevin, you never voted for president? No, I voted. I think I pretty much always vote for...
You said something that sounded confusing. You said that you'd never voted either side.
I usually go third-party candidate. Yeah, I've always told you. I think I don't like the two-party system. I think it's one of the worst things we have in America. I'm with George Washington. I think it's terrible, and I push for, I vote for, give us a third option.
Well, because I think there's some people that have a little bit of both.
I do.
They're like, okay, I like some Democrat stuff, I like some Republican stuff, but you have to pick a side. I think that's the dumbest shit.
I don't think anybody represents.
When I go to a food court, I eat Italian and I eat some Chinese. I like a little bit of everything, Virginia.
Well, what I do is anytime there's a presidential election, and pretty much for anything, you can go on there and they will ask you basically blind box questions. How do you feel about this? And you don't know, you're just putting in your opinions on the issues, and then it'll tell you who you line up with the most, and that's who I vote for. And amazingly enough, I've never lined up with the Democratic or Republican presidential candidate. So I'm like going, if this is the guy, I don't give a shit if he has zero chance of winning. If this is who backs my views the most, that's who's going to get my vote. And that's how I decide. That just goes to show I've never lined up with either one of the candidates. I have no problem. I would if they did, but they just don't. So
interesting.
That's how I do my votes. So I do 3 different sites so that, and it gives me the answer. And all 3 of them last time for the presidential election, it lined up with the same dude I'd never heard of.
And he doesn't have an ice cube's chance in hell of winning.
I've never voted for a winner.
But you vote with your heart.
I vote with okay, this guy represents my view. This is my boy. Like, if it weren't for the party system, this would be the guy that I'd be like, yeah, I'm behind this guy. I like what he thinks.
So people always say this, and I'm seeing in the chat room, but if you vote third party, it's like throwing away your vote. What's your opinion on that?
My vote to me is a statement where it's like I'm voting for the third party, that I want better representation.
Yeah.
And if more people started lining up behind me, then maybe we could topple these 2 other big parties and get that third party representation. So I feel like my vote has a point. I may lose. I may be the worst voter ever.
but I'm trying to make a point over here.
But I'm telling you that you 2 don't represent me, and this guy does, and I'm going with the person that backs up my views the most. I mean, if I didn't know, and I agree with everything you said, but I didn't know what party you're from, Virginia, wouldn't it be stupid to vote for this guy over here just because he has a chance of winning?
Yeah, I don't agree with the two-party system either. I'm totally in agreement with you. I think the only people that love the two-party system are people that are in the parties, politicians. I think regular people should be allowed to go back and forth on what they think and not have to subscribe to one group and all their ideology. Why can't I feel differently about different things?
Bottom line, gun control. I'm just kidding.
Well, somebody said it's a silent statement, but the thing for me is I have a good conscience about who I voted for. Because I would think that would be tough to vote for a candidate that wins and then they betray what you feel. And you're like, gosh, I got this guy into office. I don't want that. I have a good conscience about who I vote for. And you know what? It's my fucking vote.
Yeah.
So I can do, if it's a silent waste, whatever.
You spend time, you research, you figure out what you want to do.
It's my vote. It's what I want to do with it.
You're the opposite of an uninformed voter.
I like what Remy says in the chat room. Vote for Jay Bird in the pizza party. Kind of got a hell yeah.
If you ran, I'd probably be with you.
I got I got a lot of great things I want to address to the country, Virginia.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Such as?
Food. We have a pizza shortage.
We do?
Probably don't actually.
I can call Domino's right now.
I would like to put never mind. I'm getting too political.
So that's trying to explain some of the stuff that is going on. So we got just a couple more weeks left, and then I'll not have to erase so many text messages from my phone every day, which would be nice. Cesar from Green Acres said, hey, when are we finally going to get a KVJ hangout? V-Law is over. Places are opening. Life is moving forward. KVJ YouTube Nation is already meeting up again, but we would love to see you all out with us. Let's make this happen. Also, let's keep Not Quite Rona Bird name alive for as long as possible. I mean, we still have Pink Lies V. Okay.
It's not up to us, unfortunately. It's going to probably come through management. If they, we brought it up before. I just don't know if they're ready to have. If we do an event and all of a sudden 19 people get COVID at our event.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to go to our event, and I work here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. It's going to be a while. I mean, you still just, as we keep seeing these little flare-ups, and there's still so much confusion with it that. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be for a while.
I don't want that on me.
I personally,
I would feel bad if anybody came to a KVJ event and then got corona and then was sad and blamed us. Like, that's a lot of heat.
Personally, I would do it because I think it'd probably be a bar event, and it would be an adult making their own decision, and we try to do it as safe as possible. I mean, I'm telling you, I saw the one bar, Das Beer Garden did it great. I'm not just saying that because we're doing stuff with them. I was at the one in Abacoa, and they did a really good job of not having anyone near each other if you kept your mask on. Although a lot of people didn't have their mask on because they're drinking, but then you put it back on when you go to the bathroom and all that. It seemed to work out good.
Yeah, it seems like the best places, what they're saying, is if you can find the outdoors. And this is where we're going to be at a benefit here because we're going to get our great weather coming up. And outdoor bars and restaurants that can do that. This is going to be the problem with being up north. It's going to be interesting to me to see what happens with the numbers over the winter time and what's going to happen. Will the north have to shut down a lot of places while we can stay open because we have the ability, and especially when they're doing what they're doing to some streets, shut the damn streets down, set up tables out there, and let people congregate outside, keep the restaurants going, the business happening, and let's go out and enjoy ourselves. But yeah, up north, they don't have that option.
Well, I think you keep on hearing, there's going to be a spike.
Yeah, well, I mean, arguably, there is a spike right now. So,
well, there's a spike.
There's a spike.
Yeah.
Kevin, there's a spike.
Yeah. The number of new daily cases has risen almost 50% in the U.S. over the past month. So that seems like a spike. I say Europe's even worse. So, yeah, that maybe will be something that saves us is our weather. We're talking about the best bars to go to. We did our bar draft earlier today.
Yes, that was fun.
Count out the numbers. Yeah, we love all bars.
Well, it reminds me of places that I kind of forget how many cool places there are.
So many.
Because I haven't been to any since like March.
Yeah, we didn't even scratch the surface. I could have gone 35 deep easily.
I actually have a little bar guilt because there's some places that I know that I didn't say, and I know the owner or the. I think they're gonna have words for me.
Yeah, there's places that I love to go to. I haven't been to them, and I forget about them. Out of sight, out of mind.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jaybird, somebody should have a talking to you. You finished last.
I didn't play to win.
Yeah.
Which is a great strategy, by the way.
But on some of these, I agree. You got to go with what you love. You'd be like, I know it's not going to be a.
You voted with your heart.
Sometimes a pandering list is annoying to the people. I lost, but I lost for the people, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You went Swampgrass Willie's, Waterway Cafe, and the Brewhouse Gallery in Lake Park.
Maybe because they're all within a 3-mile radius. They're all in my own little area.
Then next we had Virginia. She definitely did that. Everything was within her vicinity. She went Square Grouper. Well, the Seafood Bar, the Breakers, that's West Palm, and then 1000 North. But 1000 North and Square Grouper are, maybe not even a mile apart?
Yeah, you can walk from one to the other.
How long does it take you to get to Square Grouper from your crib?
Not far. Not long at all. Maybe like a 10-minute drive.
10 mins?
Yeah.
No shit.
Maybe 8.
8 mins?
I go fast, bro.
Well, that's true. You don't follow the laws.
Well, there's alcohol waiting for us.
Yeah, how fast is my Uber driver going? Because I'm in the back with a beer, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Then Denny's was next. He had Guanabanas, which is in that vicinity. That's one of the greatest little bar areas that we have.
That little strip.
Yeah.
You've got Schooners, Utiki.
Yep.
They're doing that Love Street place. You've got Guanabanas. You've got
It's one of my favorite places.
the mini golf right up the street. That's a cute little spot too.
Mini golf.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I always drive by that. I'd never done. It's been around for a minute there.
It has. It's Lighthouse Mini Golf, I think it's
You
called.
can drink there?
You can absolutely drink there. They have great craft beer. It's covered but outdoor. They've got a playground for the kids. They've got mini golf. They got an ice cream shop.
Shit, I want to go.
It's really a good setup. Pre-COVID, we would probably be there at least twice a month.
Okay.
I want to go. Can we go?
I haven't been there since all the coves, but
Let's see. Denny's had Guanabanas, Respectable Street, 500 block of Clematis, and then Riverside Market South, which is in Broward. If you love craft beer, you got to look that place up. And it's like tucked back in a neighborhood. It is not easy to find. But
of course he has a cool list.
It is very, yeah, that place I love, though. It's really cool. They have like really old furniture that you sit on, like somebody's old couches that they threw away that they put in there. And it does. It looks like a old little market.
That's cool.
Just full of craft beer. It's pretty cool. Then in second place, Suits. He had Copper Blues, E.R. Bradley's, and Doss Craft Beer and Pizza.
Good list.
It was fantastic. All those places are absolutely amazing. And I wound up winning, beating Suits by 1 vote. I had Duffy's. I think that did it for me. So many locations. And
You won a couple in a row.
yeah.
But this is the one that you needed to win for your own sense of self-worth. You pride yourself on this stuff.
Well, I love going out so much. It's my favorite thing. I just love going out, people watching and seeing what's going on. Sailfish Marina, where I met the Mexican Queen, was also on my list.
I mean, it's a romantic pick.
Yeah, and then the Wharf in Fort Lauderdale. If they ever get the Bright Line fired back up again, if you're coming north or south, if you're in West Palm or in Miami, hop that. You get right off of the Bright Line station of Fort Lauderdale, and it's basically across the street.
Huh.
If you looked up the Wharf, Fort Lauderdale, and it's outdoor, it's right on the Intercoastal. Or no, it's on the New River, sorry. But it's right there on the water.
I want to give a little love to Foster's Pub. It's still around. The second one is. The first
one that burned down?
The one that burned down was really my stomping grounds. That's where me and Panda would go there back in the day. I drank so much beer at the original Foster's. And the people that had gone to Foster's, y'all know who I'm talking to.
The ceilings were so low, and it was so smoky.
So smoky. I like a dive bar, man. I like a shitty bar.
I do too. There's something about. In fact, you could put all the bars in categories. Where there's just some, if I love dive bar in it.
Snuggery's another one in Palm Beach Gardens is good.
Yeah, I like. I would say even maybe just a dark bar. It's a little bit darker in there. Brass Ring is, one of my spots. I love
the
going to.
OG Brass Ring.
They got a few. Yeah.
The OG Brass Ring has some delicious burgers and wings.
Their wings are amazing. Yes.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, they're really good.
That place. There's one in Lake Park.
Yeah, we've been in there.
Oh yeah. That's been around since I was a child.
And they got the one in Royal Palm too, which is good.
Yeah, I think they just opened up one on Indiantown Road too, not too long ago. Dang. They got 3 of them now.
Good for them. I love them. They're all good.
I met them at a party. Those people.
Name
dropper. You did?
They're actually very cool. The husband and wife. They're fun.
Oh, they are. Okay.
They're just a little bit older than us, but they don't slow down. They don't act like it.
Oh yeah. Well, I know Donnie Duffy's. He is my friend. I know him, so look at that. Donnie Duffy's. This thing on.
Donnie Duffy's.
Donnie Duffy's.
Douche.
Let me see here. Got an email. Hector's like, I think Kevin's turning Latino. He's watching soccer, trying to learn Mexican. What the heck is going on? You don't realize. Now you want to wear a Los Hurricanes shirt. Yes. We're losing you.
He loves the Hispanic culture.
I do. I do.
He loves the food. He married a person from Mexican descent.
Big fan.
He's trying to get in the club, y'all.
Yeah, well, Hector's Hispanic and he's welcomed me. So yeah, I'm trying, man. Trying to get over there. I don't know what I'm gonna do about the pigment. I think I'm stuck on that. But
I don't know. I can spray tan you like I did that time.
Yeah, you could. But you know what's fascinating? Because, I've never been to Mexico. And, my wife, she's got a very nice tan. But I'm watching that show, the Club de Cuervos. It's on Netflix, and it's in Mexico, is the show. And I kind of talked a little bit to my father-in-law about this because, he was born in America, but they lived on that border of Juarez, and he's still got a lot of family there. I think what it is you've basically got European Mexicans, and then you've got the indigenous Mexicans. And they kind of bring that up in the show. Like, a lot of these people just look like regular gringos, but they live in Mexico. In fact, they made a point. One guy is all about trying to placate to the indigenous people that are there, the people who are original Mexicans.
Okay.
And then you think about when you had the conquistadors and all that kind of stuff coming over from Spain, and then you got, so it's really kind of interesting. And my father-in-law is saying, I think they're more indigenous.
Gotcha.
That would be the darker complected.
Yeah, the good skin.
Yeah, because the other ones, and that to me was actually kind of encouraging. So I'm like, I could go over there and you would blend in. They wouldn't know. So not everybody is a little bit darker, at least from what I'm gathering from this show. And and talking to, somebody said that, text in, said, kind of the richer Mexicans are the ones that look a little bit more European.
So are you still planning to do Thanksgiving in Mexico?
Don't know where we're going with that. I haven't heard an update on that. I don't think so. Yeah, I think we're, looking at other options.
Smarter ideas prevailing.
Well, it just, my wife gets on something and it's a hot topic for 2 weeks, and then I guess she forgets about it or something. I don't know, but you never know. I may wind up in Mexico. No idea. But somebody texted in and said, you'll get white as white gringos in Mexico.
Interesting.
Yeah. I did not know that. Mm-hmm. El Chico de los Ojos Pequeños. Michael said for me, the boy with the small eyes.
Tiny eyes. Oh, bless your heart.
Let me see. We've got Caitlin here out of Tucson, and she was just wondering how Denny's shrimp are doing.
Oh, they're striving.
I know he moved recently, and sometimes aquatic animals don't move well, so I just want to make sure that all's well with the shrimp. They're doing okay.
They're living their best life.
Okay.
The best a shrimp can live in an aquarium and a living room, but they're living their best life.
How do you say shrimp in Spanish?
Cara, it's, what is it? It starts with a C.
Camarons, I think, or something like that.
I'm confused.
Camaron. How do you say shrimp in Spanish, Denny's? Come on, you're a shrimp daddy.
Camaron.
No. It is shrimp in Spanish. What is it? I'm drawing a blank.
Camarones.
Camaron.
Camarons. Camarons? Camarón.
Camarones. Camaroni.
Everyone say it's Camarón.
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 Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's right. Yeah. El Camarón.
El Camarón Padre.
I want an El Camarón sandwich.
Oh, me too.
Shrimp sandwich.
Not Denny's shrimp. We would never eat your shrimp, Denny's.
They're babies. They're bigger than a sea monkey, but smaller than a shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
They're fascinating.
They are.
Look at them, stare at them all day.
He's got them sitting on a shelf, and the tank is illuminated, so they kind of glow.
It brings a very peaceful shrimp vibe to the place.
Mm-hmm. And somebody said, hey, on the Gringo Mexicanos, the French also invaded Mexico, so there's a lot of white-looking people there. My grandma has light brown hair and blue eyes.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. From Mexico. So there you go. All right. Learn a lot of stuff. Look at that. The always educational KVJ show. How about that?
I love it.
All right, y'all. We got one more day left. Big old Friday to get to the weekend. Got anything you want us to hit on the After the Show podcast? Send us those emails. Mail at kvjshow.com. mail@kvjshow.com. You guys have a great Thursday, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.